He's done 12,000 on Amazon in the last 30 days. I'm here with Eric. He started with used books and he has moved on to retail arbitrage, which is all items on Amazon. Welcome to the Amazon Savages podcast.
Welcome to the Amazon Savages podcast. Hear the stories of Amazon sellers crushing it in the game and keep up with the latest strategies that are working. Sit back, relax, and remember, if you truly try and work really hard, you will make a ridiculous amount of money selling on Amazon.
But you got to put the work in. This is not easy. He did 25,000 in sales in used books. And we are just talking about this behind the scenes. He's like, honestly, that was a tough year. I don't even know if I made money. So like as an Amazon seller, you got to be willing to go through the dirt and the crap and the bad experiences. But if you want to tell us how you got to the point where you're doing 12K in sales and now you're full time, kind of walk us through your journey like you were off air, that would be amazing.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you, Romer, for having me on the podcast. So yeah, like I was mentioning, I started off with used books last year. I created my seller account in March of 2022 after basically quitting my job. I was a sales rep and I was just like kind of done with that and decided to just burn the boats and go all in. You're actually one of the first like influencers that I came across, and I just kind of binge watching your videos, Caleb Roth's videos, Flip for Miles. Eventually just said, you know what, I'm just going to start with books, low barrier to entry. I knew that there was a Goodwill outlet here in San Diego, in my city, and went to check it out, saw that they did like they auctioned off bins of books for like very little money. So got the Bluetooth scanner, kind of went all in on the book route. I was working out of my storage unit that was actually really close to the outlet, and yeah, like I said, did about 25K in sales that year. Didn't really honestly make any money, probably lost some money, but I learned a lot and met some interesting players as well in the book space. I'm sure you know of like I think Michael Kreider.
Yep.
A few of them here in SoCal. So I saw the potential, right? And I was pretty stoked to like start going kind of hard in there and like bringing on some helpers. And that's when I tear my ACL skiing in the winter and basically kind of have to put it off on the back and kind of go into surgery and recover for a few months. And in the whole rehab phase, I was like, man, like I don't want to just go straight into like diving in these bins and doing all that, because I was still kind of like in the process of getting back to how my knee used to be. Mm-hmm. And that's when I was like, man, I should start just trying to do RA with the intention of just trying to like leverage the relationships with the managers basically. So that's what I started doing. I started going to like the grocery outlets, a few like liquidation companies that they have here, like also Ulta's and Sephora's, stuff like that. And I just kind of went in with the idea of like starting to build relationships with the employees. And I was pretty consistent going there and buying, being friendly with them, till one of them eventually reached out to me saying that they have like a program that they recently launched in their store for like quote unquote professional accounts that basically just required you to have a beauty license. And I was like, that's pretty interesting. Like maybe I can get a hold of one, because she actually told me it's like you technically don't need to be the owner of that license. Like it's just like a PIN code that you can just send me, even a picture of it. That'll work. And I was like, okay. That's when I started reaching out to family and friends to see if anyone could help me with this. And long story short, my mom, the lady that has been just doing her hair for like the past like 10 years, she was actually my childhood neighbor, like way back then. And she now owns her own salon. And my mom was like, why don't you just reach out to her and tell her like what you're doing? And that's basically what I did.
Your mom's
that same day, I was just like, pass me her phone number, let me call her. And I was just super transparent, told her what I was doing, selling on Amazon. And she loved it. She was like, I'm super supportive of it. Here's the license. Sends me a picture of it that same day. And I was like, okay. I went over to the store manager and showed her the license. She went to the back, brought out like a contract to place like bulk orders from them. And that's
And
kind
so
of
you're
how.
getting them at discounted prices too.
No, the prices aren't discounted, but you're able to place large quantity
Gotcha.
orders on specific products.
Gotcha.
But that's kind of when I started leveraging reward points as well. But we'll kind of get into that later. And so I started placing some like larger bulk orders and seeing that the products were moving pretty fast. I started at first I went pretty wide in that store and just tried out a bunch of different products and ASINs, and kind of now realize which ones work the best. Right now I'm working with about like 25 or 30 ASINs that are all from that same supplier basically. And I know I can move at least 2, 3, 4 of those units, those ASINs a day. So that now I'm just trying to like scale that and be consistent in like my stock in stock rate. And
What does your ROI look like on these products?
yeah, so basically my net profit margin is about 14 to 15%.
Nice.
Yeah, my like per unit I'm making about $2 to $3 per unit. So kind of running the numbers right now, I'm selling about 30 to 35 units a day. But now realizing the scalability of it, I know I can probably triple that, and start maybe selling around 100 units a day. So that's basically my goal now. I'm starting to place bigger orders, especially right now in Q4, and just trying to really scale that. And the part that's really been able to allow me to grow was also in that process. I realized I quickly ran out of money after the first couple bulk orders, and I was like, man, I gotta get a credit line. That's when I created my LLC, got a business line of credit, and started leveraging like 0% interest credit cards, and just kind of doing like a balance transfer on each and kind of snowballing that. And yeah, it's been working great. Also, a huge key to the success with this supplier has been just snowballing their reward points. Basically, month over month, I keep placing orders with them with the points that I built out from the previous order, and it's really helped my margins stay healthy. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. And this is my first like official Q4, because last Q4 I was selling books and I was like with the torn ACL. So this is kind of my first one. I kind of have the goal. So right now I basically started with this business model in June. That's when I recovered. So I basically have had just this last half of the year to really niche down. That's kind of where my last sales have come from. Right now I'm hovering around 65, 70K in year-to-date sales. So my goal for these last 2 months is breaking the 100K for sure.
Yeah.
I want to do it at least 20K in November and another 20K in December to just keep that momentum going, and really figure out which ASINs work the best. I have a good feeling now which ones they are, and just kind of going deeper on those products.
Yeah. Dude, I would load up on your best-selling ASINs. I would just send all of them FBA right
100%.
now, like a 60-day supply. Because your 60-day supply is probably only going to be like a 30-day supply during Q4.
Yeah.
So
No,
I would just look at those fastest, the best, most profitable ASINs you're selling now from that beauty connection and just load up on those for Q4.
100%, man. And it was a big curveball too, because my best seller, they ended up not including it in this year's like Black Friday sale that they're running right now. It was a big curveball, but it's just adapt and pivot.
Do they have all these products like on hand, or are you having to wait with some lead time to get the products?
They have them on hand, but I only buy them when they run certain sales. I don't buy them if they're just like at their normal price. It doesn't work for me.
Gotcha. Well, during Q4, there's going to be a lot of price spikes. So consider it might, even though they're not profitable now, in the future, they may become really profitable at the current price that they're at. And I would consider merchant fulfilling during like the first week of December, and maybe that beauty product that wasn't profitable at $15. Now, when you spend $15, you're making like 20, 30 back. So it's worth it. Whereas before you were breaking even. And so rerun the list of ASINs as November starts to end.
Yeah.
And then if all the inventory is on hand, you can go back and basically like make big purchase agreements because you know you're going to sell that inventory like within a week. So if you know for sure they have it on hand, you can list some in your MF inventory, start selling it, and then just go to the store and buy it, and then you can quickly restock, if they have a few hundred units. Like it's the first week of December is absolutely insane for merchant fulfilled.
Wow.
Because everybody's going to run out FBA. This is what happened last year. Like every year it happens. People run out of FBA stock. Then all the MF sellers start getting sales. The sales price is like 20, 30, 100% higher than normal. So you can afford paying more for the inventory. And so you could probably pump out, like if you hustle, like probably 5X what you're actually thinking if you really focus and take advantage of the opportunity that's about to happen. Like it's Q4 is like another monster.
Yeah, no, I'm starting to see it like it's in my sales a little bit. But merchant fulfilling is a beast that I need to take advantage of because right now I'm just all FBA.
And that's why like right now, like I would send everything FBA because it's like the same exact thing I'm talking about. Like the reason why merchant fulfilling is so big is because of the slow check-in time. So everything that is FBA, you're probably going to sell through really quickly, Yeah. So.
No, yeah, my sell-through rate right now is hovering around 2%. My goal for 2020
per day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're about 60% a month.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but my goal for 2024 is to bump that to at least 3%. So yeah, it really is just going deeper on those products that I've found success with.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's kind of the game that I'm playing right now. But credit has been a huge part of that to leverage that.
What's the number one piece of advice you can give to a beginner that wants to make $12,000 a month in sales like you?
As a complete beginner, I would honestly still recommend doing books at least just 1 month. Try to get your first couple sales to understand what it's like to create a shipment and shipping it into Amazon and learning how to work Seller Central. And if you realize that it is something that you want to do, just start going to this RA, start scanning like TJ Maxx, Kohl's, wherever it may be, and just try going from there. But I do know that you're gonna hit a wall pretty quick, and that's when you have to start leveraging relationships. And that's what really made the difference for me. Like I wasn't just going in as like a customer. I would go in and I would even ask like, "Hey, is your manager here?" And like I would just be working with them directly instead of just me going in blindly and trying to just scan products. So that was the biggest part for me, just leveraging those relationships and telling them like, you're also going to benefit from this as your store is going to be like the top performer because I'm just going to be buying so much.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. What are the best types of products to sell?
I personally love, and what I sell the most is beauty and personal care. It's just those niches that will forever have demand. Doesn't matter if it's a seasonal or whatever it may be. People will forever want to take care of themselves, especially if your customer is a middle-aged woman. You can't ask for a better customer.
Hey, I think like 40% of all sales in America, or there's some crazy statistic out there that like middle-aged women are like responsible for a majority of the sales in America.
It's the best client you can have.
Yeah. Like women are the ones spending all the money in our country.
Oh yeah. It's an easy sale.
Yeah. What's a secret you've learned that's helped you grow your Amazon business?
Your network is your net worth. 100%.
You come to Miami Sellers Conference?
Dude, that's of course. That's a big reason why when I got your email, I was like, oh, I need to hop on his podcast because like
yeah. For anyone that doesn't know about Miami Sellers Conference, take a listen real quick.
Miami Sellers Conference. Commit to expanding your network by the best Amazon event of the year. Visit MiamiSellersConference.com.
I probably paid way too much for that, and
I was going to ask you could have used like AI.
Yeah, I need to have like a video interjection, but MiamiSellersConference.com. Go check it out. We got 5 speakers so far. We're probably going to have 15, 20 total. Big names in the room, speaking / being on panels. We got Watch Me Amazon this year, Amazon Lit, Flips for Miles, Warner Fields, me, Taylor, Steve Rakin, Soros Empire. That's more than 5 people already, but we're going to have a lot more. We'll have FBA Michaela there, Side Hustle Experiment. It's going to be 1,000 ASINs.
From Mundo Amazon as well.
Mundo Amazon, yeah, he'll be there for sure. I need to reach out to him. Actually put him on the web. There's just so many fucking people. Like it's actually a little overwhelming to think about.
I'm excited, man. This is gonna be my first. This is my first Amazon event, really. Like this is kind of why I wanted to take the initiative and get involved in the community. Yeah. Because like my first year was kind of a big blur, and especially with my injury, I wasn't really getting much traction. But now that I kind of doubled down on it, I realized like I need to become part of this community.
What have you experienced? Because you said your network is your net worth. What have you experienced so far to help you build your Amazon business, networking with the Amazon community?
So with the community, I'm lacking on that. This is actually my first initiative to get involved in the community more. But in regards to your network being your net worth, the first thing that comes to mind was that huge pivot that I took in needing a beauty license. If I didn't have that connection, like good luck me trying to get a beauty license and going through the courses and all that, like that would have taken way too long. So that was huge. And also just keeping a good relationships with the managers. Like for example, one of them, she actually just like went into labor like a few weeks ago. She's pregnant. And right before she left, I gave her like an Amazon gift card, just trying to just have a good relationship with them. Just know that like I'm not just here to just buy their inventory, but also just to be a friend. Like, yeah.
And that you're appreciative of them. I think if you can come from a place of like true appreciation for someone,
I always show my love. Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, that's what I try to do with the speakers at Miami. Like every speaker I invite, I truly appreciate what they've done for the community and they can feel it, you know? And like yesterday I went to a library here for the first time and they made me so much profit back in the day, like thousands of dollars in profit. And I brought them coffee and I'm like, I'm just happy for you guys. Like, I really appreciate you. Like, it was kind of weird. I was on the phone. I'm like, even if I don't buy books, man, I just want to come see you and like make sure you're good. Like, I actually meant it because I'm like really grateful for what he's done for me in the past.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Leading with value, man. It's huge. Like, I love it.
Yep. What's a myth about selling on Amazon?
That it's passive income.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is an absolute lie. Yeah. I experienced it when, I had a couple thousand books in stock and I wasn't able to keep working because I was injured. And man, if you're not actively feeding the beast, it is just on a downhill slope. Like your business is not growing if you're not actively sourcing and sending in product. So it is not passive at all.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very capital intensive too. I realized that really quick when I ran out of money. I was like, yeah, I need to start leveraging credit and not just using cash.
Random question. What's your ethnicity? Because I know you're a Mundo Amazon fan.
Yeah. I'm Mexican. I'm in Mexico right now, brother.
Okay, nice. Tijuana?
Tijuana, yes, sir.
Nice.
Aquí tienes tu casa, hermano. You know, you can always stay here if you're ever in TJ.
Hey, TJ is like one of the only places in the world that for some reason it scares me. I've been there before. That's probably why it scares me. Like, I've been to Cali, Colombia, which is statistically one of the most dangerous cities in America, in the world. Been to Puerto Rico, been to Mexico City, but when I drove through Tijuana, man, I'm like, this is a place where I could get fucked up.
No, TJ's pretty sketchy. I'm not gonna lie. I've had some
Yeah, especially like I just feel like it's that border town vibe, man. Like they're trying to sneak the drugs across, and there's a big misconception about Mexico that it's all dangerous. And like Mexico City, like if you guys went and stayed where I stayed, like it was so nice and like the nicest people ever. But the border towns are pretty sketch, and like I feel it when I go there. Like I feel like some stuff could pop off. But
100%.
if I'm there with you, man, you'll protect me. And
yes, sir. You're good, brother. You're good. No, when I see you in person, I'll tell you a story or two. There's crazy stuff.
Yeah, dude, I know. I've heard them. But yeah, I do want to spend more time there, but I'm definitely going to be careful in Tijuana. Like I feel like, it's like,
yeah, like you just gotta stay in the nice areas, just like anywhere. But yeah, I mean, it is Mexico, so.
You thought about selling on .mex, .mx?
Yes, man. So the whole idea for me originally trying to start selling on Amazon, I thought that I was gonna go in and start selling private label. Like I was gonna come in swinging for the fences. I have a family friend that she has a skincare brand here in Mexico. It's nationwide, like it's really big. And she is sleeping on the whole e-commerce. She's just brick and mortar. And I had originally told her, like, why don't we start selling on Amazon? She was like, like, if you want to do it, it's all yours. I was like, okay. So that's kind of how my initial drive started. I was like, I'm going to start selling this product on Amazon. But I quickly realized that it wasn't as easy as I thought to like create that demand, especially in the US when there wasn't any demand for that brand. And also the whole like importing and exporting of the product, it was getting more complicated than I thought. And that's kind of when I realized that Amazon Mexico is nowhere near Amazon US. Like they are so behind. Mm-hmm. Like I be going on seeing the keep it charts on some products in Amazon Mexico, and it's like the velocity does not even compare to.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I'm not even gonna waste my time. Maybe in the future, like with private label, I do see some possible opportunities with Amazon Mexico. But as far as arbitrage goes, I'm gonna stay with the US.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some wholesale product I'm selling, and I've looked it up in Mexico, and it goes for actually more expensive, but the sales velocity is like probably a 20th of what it is.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I did send in just to try it out a few products that I bought at the Costco here in Mexico, and I sent it into their warehouses, and it checked in great. It sold.
Where are the warehouses? In Tijuana or?
There is one in Tijuana, but it isn't for FBA. I don't know where I sent it. I forgot. It was like a random city. But I was happy with the results that it all got checked in and it sold. So I was like, okay, like that's a good sign. But as for right now, I really just want to maximize the relationship I have with my current supplier. Mm-hmm. I kind of ran the numbers, and basically my goal for next year is to do 500K in sales. The profit on that, I forgot. I have it here on my desk, but yeah, basically.
If you maintain your same profit margin, you'd be 10% would be 50K profit. So you'd be looking at
yeah, it's like around 70-ish.
14% would be 70K-ish.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and yeah, like I said, and this would be my third year technically selling on Amazon, but I'm also really happy with the momentum that I'm starting to get, and I do see like in the future me reaching out to more suppliers and distributors, and starting to build that out as well, not just staying with the one that I have right now, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, you like, I'm not even saying this to sell my own event, but if you come to Miami Sellers Conference, you'll just meet some other 20-year-old kids who are doing like 200K a month.
Yeah.
In your brain, you'll see what they're doing, and it'll just click. Like that's my favorite thing about throwing these events, and that's what changed my life. Was I used to go to Caleb Ross events, turn the page,
Mm.
And I would meet other booksellers doing like 200K a month selling textbooks. Like it was fucking nothing. And then I'm like, if this idiot can do it, because this idiots and be drunk running around like, oh, I'm like, this 40-year-old idiot who's not tech savvy at all can do it.
Yeah.
I can figure this shit out. And that's what changed it for me. And I've seen so many people be affected by it. Miles does a great job of, bringing people on his YouTube channel, young kids having success. And he does a great job also. Back in the day, Miles would make these groups where we'd all be in it. I've just seen these like young, what's the word for it? Men who are able to be influenced, like children basically look up to people who are a couple steps ahead of them. And I've just seen like these people learn how to sell on Amazon in a couple of years. And now they're doing like multi six figures each month. Just because they've made it normal that like all my friends sell multiple six figures on Amazon. So it's like
the new norm. Yeah.
It's like there's something wrong with me if I'm not doing that. And so when all your friends are doing it, when all your friends are millionaires, it's just like, oh, why the fuck am I not a millionaire?
It's a big mental shift. Yeah. I'm going through that right now. Like in my personal life, in my business life. I feel like it's kind of time for me to take that little level up. And yeah, man, this is what it's all about.
Do you make an effort to, because you connected with me on Instagram, do you network with a lot of these guys on IG?
Not a lot. I mean, I've DM'd them. I've talked to Miles on DM, Garrett as well. But I need
like other smaller people maybe that don't have big followings. Have you connected with those guys?
What's up?
Like smaller people, like that don't really have a huge social media following, like a couple thousand followers or something or less. Have you connected with those people?
Not as much. Like I honestly
would do that, man. Like I would connect with like little savages doing like 50 to 100K a month that don't have big social media followings. Just reach out to them and like get your little network of friends going.
Yeah. No, I think it's gonna be huge going to Miami and meeting everyone in person because like virtual, it's kind of it's not the same.
Yeah, exactly. But if you can establish before Miami, like just a few friendships, so when you get there, you'll be like, oh, what's up, bro? Like you've already had like a few exchanges. Like I respect your hustle. You know what I mean?
You're right. Yeah, man. No, I'm excited for that. It's honestly gonna be my first time in Miami too, so we'll see how that
really?
Yeah, man.
What do you you're Mexican, so you like cumbia?
Dude, bro, you're like inspiring me to take bachata.
Salsa? Bachata?
Yes, bro. I was like, dude, this is
in Miami, salsa. It's a Caribbean Latino, so you get the Cubans in there, you get the Puerto Ricans.
I love it.
So much fun. I have a salsa addiction. Like I work the first 6 hours of the day, then I go coach wrestling practice, then I work a little bit more, and then I go salsa dance for like 3 hours, almost every fucking day.
Wow.
Yeah.
And have you heard of the jiu-jitsu gym Entram here in TJ? Entram?
No.
Like Dean Lister, freaking Jocko, those guys go there all the time. Even Brandon Moreno, like the UFC champ.
Yeah, no, but
all right, well, yeah, he's like the first Mexican UFC champ, and he trains there. It's also here in TJ, and I've been meaning to go check it out because like
I know San Diego has some of the best jiu-jitsu in the world.
Yep, San Diego's another one. Atlas.
Do you do jiu-jitsu at all?
No, I have a few friends that do and have been telling me. I keep telling them it's like, I was telling them that once my knee gets better, I'm going to do it. And I'm in that situation now. So no excuses. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I love jiu-jitsu, man. I'm actually having to take a break from it, though, because I'm coaching wrestling. So
what do you like more, jiu-jitsu or wrestling?
What'd you say?
What do you like more, jiu-jitsu or wrestling?
Wrestling's the hardest sport in the world.
Really?
It's harder than anything you'll ever do in your life. The hardest part about MMA is wrestling. 100%. Ask any MMA fighter. Like they will say, it's not getting knocked out in boxing. It's not the physicality of boxing. It's not jiu-jitsu. It's not Muay Thai. Physically, like picking another man's body up and controlling him and trying to put him on the ground is the hardest thing you can do. And because of that, like it makes it kind of difficult to like enjoy because like when you like I go to wrestling practice and I wrestle like 6 minutes a day with my friend and we're exhausted afterwards.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Jiu-jitsu, I can go for like 30 minutes. It's very technical. It's flowy. I can do triangles. Like I can learn something new at jiu-jitsu every day.
Yeah.
And so my heart will always, like I'm a wrestler. My mentality is always wrestling, like work fucking harder, shut the fuck up, go out, put the work in, get it done, don't bitch. Like I've learned that from wrestling, and you guys can tell, like I take that mentality towards Amazon too.
Mm-hmm.
But I love jiu-jitsu because it's technical, it's humbling. You have to tap out every roll. And in wrestling, you never have to submit to anybody. But in jiu-jitsu, you have to submit to someone else. You have to say, I quit. You're better than me. You would have killed me in that situation. You win. Whereas in wrestling, you don't have that. In wrestling, you're like, all right, you put me on my back, but fuck you. I'm going to put you on your back next time. And there's no actual ending in wrestling. It's just a fucking grind the whole time. So that's kind of I'm a wrestler, and I'm becoming more of a jiu-jitsu guy as time goes on, but I will always have that wrestling mentality. And I think that if you're a wrestler, people are scared of you because you get to choose where fights happen. Like I honestly believe, to the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of my heart, if Floyd Mayweather was outside right now, I'd beat his ass.
What?
100% would beat his ass. He's smaller than me. He better knock me the fuck out before I grab his leg. Because the moment I grab his leg, and I'm passing his guard, and box me from the ground, Floyd.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm gonna stomp you in the face. I'm gonna punch you in the face. And so, like, I feel like wrestling gives you this confidence that when you go out in the world, you're not scared of anybody, and everyone feels it. Like in every room that I'm in, I'm almost always like, if I look at everyone, I'm like, I would win if we had a UFC.
I love it. I love it.
Because I choose where the fight happens. Like, even when I went out with my jiu-jitsu friends in Colombia, black belt jiu-jitsu guys, really good. But they knew if a fight popped off that they didn't have the best striking and that they didn't have the best takedowns. And so they're really good from their back, but it's like you don't want to be in your back in a street fight.
Oh.
But I would have the confidence of like, if any of these Colombians fuck with me or my Colombian jiu-jitsu friends, I get to choose where the fight happens. And you better knock me out before I take you down. And so, like, with that, it's like that little thing of confidence. And that's why I love wrestling. That's why I love coaching wrestling, because kids are never going to be the same when they leave high school with the confidence of choosing where a fight happens. And so that's why I'm passionate about wrestling. So it's much more fun to do jiu-jitsu, but wrestling is much more rewarding. I'll put it that way.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely something I need to start doing because I train, like I work out. I've always been fit. But I need to start training like martial arts as well.
Yeah. Dude, do it. Go to that school you just talked about.
Yeah.
All you need is an hour or two a day. Put in the work, and it changes who you are, truly.
I love it, man. No, maybe when I see you in Miami, I'll be able to tell you a little bit about my experience there. Because I know there's some killers. There's some killers there.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Jiu-jitsu is amazing. Yeah, I imagine doing in Tijuana is probably like, I just imagine like the Tijuana cartel.
Oh yeah, especially like the whole boxing gyms here, like
Dude, Mexico's good at boxing.
They go hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for coming on. I actually got to run to wrestling practice pretty soon, but it was a pleasure having you. Any last words of advice for people out there that, maybe they think this whole thing's a scam? They don't know if they can get results. What advice would you have for those people?
For me, it was really take massive action. And for me to take massive action, I typically have to have my back against the wall. So I just burn the boats, put myself in a situation where it's like, if you need to pay the bills, you need some money to come in. So I just took massive action. And start networking with people, not just in online, but also in your community. I forgot to mention that as well. I met another Amazon seller that is here in San Diego that's doing around the same numbers as me. And it was also big just talking with him and just sharing different ideas.
Is he a bookseller?
No, he's actually moved on to wholesale. He's doing wholesale.
One of my good friends is a bookseller there. He does pretty good. In San Diego.
Like I said, I met Michael. I met a few other ones. But books are definitely a big niche down here in San Diego.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. No, I appreciate Romer, for having me on. I look forward to seeing you guys in Miami.
Yeah, see you in Miami, brother.
See you.
Oh yeah, people can follow you at what's your Instagram?
Yeah, so I just use my personal Instagram, Eric Martos _. I was considering making a new one for FBA, but I was like, man, like I already have a couple different people following me on this one. I'll just keep it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Keep posting, man. Go follow Eric. Peace out.
See you guys.